YouTube channel. Today I have a really exciting video for you guys. I am going to be showing you the Morphe Fluidity foundation, concealer, powder. This is a huge launch that I am so excited about. If you guys don't know, I do work for the brand and I am very proud to be a part of it. So I can't wait to show you guys how these products work and kind of go through this little collection. Well, not little. I'm gonna go through the whole collection with you guys and kind of break it down so that it's easy for you guys to understand and so that you are educated about the product when you go into store to check it out or if you're buying online. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Morphe. I think that the Fluidity line is incredible. I think that the shade range is incredible and I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. Just wanted to get that out of the way really quick and say congratulations to the Morphe team because I know everybody has been keeping it a secret for a long time and working on it. It did not go unnoticed in my opinion. Morphe's launching two primers, the Revitalizer, which is going to be for your more normal to dry skin, and the Equalizer, which is going to be more for your oily skin. I personally have the Revitalizer primer. This is the primer and the container that it comes in. I have pretty normal skin. I used to be oily, but now I'm more on the normal side. And for me, I just prefer a more hydrating primer. So that's what I'm gonna be using today. So you really only need about a little pea-sized amount, and I just kind of rub it between my fingers and warm it up. And I'm gonna go right in my T-zone and kind of like in the places where I get dry. So in my chin, along my jaw, and it is just going to give me a little extra hydration. I do want to say that I have already done my skincare. I think it's very important to do skincare before you do any makeup on yourself. This is not meant to be your moisturizer. I highly recommend using a moisturizer before you do any type of makeup. So this is just gonna prep your skin. It's gonna blur and soften any fine lines, wrinkles, pores, things like that, and it's gonna give you a little bit of hydration. And it does feel really nice and moisturizing and smoothing. So yay for that. So that's the Revitalizer, and the other one is the Equalizer. So that one's gonna be more of an oil controlling smoothing primer for those with oily skin, and that one's great as well. I have used it and I do like it. Before I get into the foundation, which I'm really excited to show you guys, this is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is not a new launch. This is a longtime favorite of many people. It's an aerosol spray, and this is our setting mist. So you can use this before or after your makeup. It contains glycerin, which is going to help pull moisture into your skin and really keep it there. You want a nice hydrated base before you go in with any foundation, whether it's the Morphe foundation, whether it's whatever other brand you want to use. This spray is going to help lock in any moisture. So I'm going to give myself a quick spritz. So onto the foundation, the part that everybody's the most excited about. I am the shade 1.6. There are 60 shades in this foundation range, which is mind-blowing. Typically in the industry, as it stands right now, the standard is about 40 shades. Morphe is not coming to play. The cool thing about Morphe's shade range is that it's broken down into 5 different levels of skin tones. So it's not going to be one of those foundation ranges where you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, there's 35 light to medium shades and 5 deep shades. It's not going to be like that. Everything is very even, so every skin tone is able to find a shade that fits them, which I think is incredible because I really think that that's something that's missing in the industry. I'm really proud of Morphe for that, to be honest. The shade ranges go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is gonna be your fair, 2 is gonna be your light, 3 is gonna be medium, and then you have rich and deep. You're gonna have 12 shades to choose from in each level. Each one is a different undertone. So basically, undertone is the base color to your skin. It's basically how I would describe undertone. So the way you can find your undertone, the easiest for me is if you look at the veins on your wrist, you can see the color of your veins. So for me, I have more blue and purple, so I'm gonna be cool toned. If you have a more pink undertone, your veins are going to be more blue and purple. If you have a more yellow undertone or a warmer undertone, you're gonna have more green veins. And then neutral, you're gonna have a mix of both. And then we also have an undertone for olive skin tones. So if you have like super tan, beautiful, like olivey toned skin, we do have undertones for that as well. In the range, you'll see fair with neutral, fair with pink undertones, fair with slightly pink. So if you're not super pink, like it's very easy to find your shade. I have a lot more pink in my skin. I do have a little bit of green. So I would say I lean cool to neutral. That's why I chose 1.6. 1.6 is fair with slightly pink undertone. I do want to say the foundation is made in the USA, which is really awesome. Also, the foundation is full coverage. It's 24-hour wear. Do I recommend that you wear it for 24 hours? Absolutely not. I think that you should wash your makeup off at night because nobody should ever sleep in makeup, but this could last you up to 24 hours. It is very, very long wearing. It's also fragrance free, which I appreciate because I typically break out terribly from foundations that have fragrance in them, and this one does not have fragrance. It also is free of oils and parabens, so that's awesome. Without further ado, let's apply it. This is the new trio that's coming out. So in this little complexion trio, you're gonna get the M439, which is our best-selling foundation brush. This is our little concealer brush, the M173. This is really awesome to blend out your under eye concealer, and you get a new sponge, which is a brand new shape. It's awesome because it's got that like egg shape, but it's got this flat bottom, so it's gonna cover a lot of space. It's nice and squishy, it's awesome. And I'm gonna show you guys on half my face with the sponge, half with the brushes. I'm gonna start on this side with my M439, and this foundation brush is awesome. I will say this foundation is one you have to work kind of quickly with, but it's very full coverage and it does the job. Like I barely tapped in and that's covering my entire face. I'm going to bring it down. I do have a lot of redness on my face, so that's why when I first put on foundation, it looks so stark. And I like to match my foundation to my neck because I feel that it makes it look more kind of cohesive. With this brush, I typically like to pat and kind of swipe a little bit, and that is what it's looking like on the brush side. So here's no foundation at all. And here's the foundation. I am gonna go in with my little sponge. So I'm gonna dip in with like the little butt of my sponge here. I'm gonna go in, and I like to really push this into the skin with the sponge. If you like a full coverage, it's gonna give you that. If you like a more sheer, you can sheer this down by mixing a little bit of the Revitalizer primer in it, or just some moisturizer, and that's gonna help sheer down your foundation. And if you do want a more sheer application, I would recommend using a duo-fiber brush or a sponge. And then we can go in with our Fluidity concealer. I am in the shade C1.25. Concealer comes in 31 shades, so you're gonna get 6 concealer shades per level. So level 1 through 5 is each gonna have 6 concealer shades. And then we have 1 pure white concealer, which is really cool. I'm gonna take the wand. It's a nice little like flat doe foot applicator, and I'm just gonna go in right in my under eye. I will say less is more with this one. See, I barely touched my skin with it. I did like 2 little swipes. It is very, very full coverage. I am gonna highlight with mine because this is what I do every day. I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M173 and just kind of tap this out. My favorite under eye brush is actually, it's the M536, it's the under eye bullet, and it is awesome for blending out concealer. So I'll show you guys that for a second too. I'll use the sponge for the rest. I'm gonna take just a teeny, like barely a dot, right on my lids. And this makes a really awesome eye base as well. So that is the foundation and concealer all laid down. I'm just gonna take a little bit of loose powder. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that on my sponge and just press it under my eyes just to set that concealer. So as you can see right now, my skin is very matte. It's very flawless, very poreless. So I am actually going to go over the rest of my face with the new Morphe Filter Effect Finishing Powder. I have filter number 2. This comes in, I believe, 15 shades, which is really awesome. Again, get a really good variety for all different skin tones. And I am gonna take my Morphe E41. It's a big, big powder brush. This one is a really kind of sheer powder, so it's great for setting if you don't want to add more coverage. I feel like with the foundation and concealer, you can build up the coverage a lot, and you really don't need to add any more. So this just kind of sets it in place. I'm just gonna bop it all around. This one is slightly tinted, the filter number 2. Filter number 1 is translucent. So if you just want a translucent powder, that's a great one. These are really smoothing and beautiful powders. They are great to keep in your purse for touch-ups. They do come with a mirror, and you also, if you flip up the powder, you get a little like powder puff, so you can just kind of press the powder in. And I am going to warm up my face a little, so I might as well do that on camera for you guys. This one right here is one of my favorites. This is the Morphe 8H palette. It's a highlight and kind of bronzer palette. The highlights in here are awesome, and you get a good variety of bronzer shades for different skin tones. So I typically use just a little bit of donut, and I take that on my favorite. This is the Morphe R2. So I'm gonna grab that, and I'm gonna go in and just kind of pat it onto my cheekbones. And I'll work it back towards the hairline in really light, feathery motions. And for me, bronzer is very, very crucial because I do have such a light skin tone that when I wipe out all my redness, I tend to look kind of dead. So you want to add that life back into your face with your bronzers and your blushes and stuff like that. And then I'll go in with my blush. My favorite is the Morphe 8C palette. It has all cool tone blushes in it. We do also carry the 8W, which is all warm tone blushes. So if warm tones are your thing, then that one is amazing. So I'm just gonna go back on that same R2 and just work it back into my bronzer. I start on the apples of my cheeks, and I do smile a little bit, see how my little apples pop out. And yeah, that just kind of warms up the complexion. Then I'm gonna give myself a spritz of the continuous setting mist. Again, this is gonna melt down all those powders into my foundation and make everything look really smooth, really seamless, like it's skin. I like to be matte, but I like my skin to still look like skin. So that's where the setting spray comes in. I'm gonna give myself a really nice spritz. It smells awesome too. And then I just kind of like fan it. And then while it's still damp, I grab my highlight brush. This one is the M501. It's my favorite highlight brush. And I'm just gonna dip into Beam from the 8H palette. I'm gonna load up my brush with it, tap off any excess, and then I'm just gonna go right on the tops of my cheekbones and add some highlight. I would put this up against any high-end highlighter. Like, that is beautiful. And that's the complexion. This is a perfect everyday look. I didn't do any eyeshadow. I do have my brows filled in. I could do this if I wasn't talking so much, probably in like 5 to 10 minutes. This is a really achievable look. It's a beautiful foundation. It's very easily manipulated. So if you have dry skin, you can use that Revitalizer primer, and it's gonna give you that extra boost of hydration. I do recommend, again, following up with your skincare. Great makeup starts with great skin. I am a firm believer in that. I am here to educate you guys and show you how you can make this product work for you. They brought out 2 primers, one for dry, one for oily skin. The continuous setting mist, if you're dry, it's gonna change your makeup. It's gonna really just lock in that moisture and give you all that you need so that you don't feel dry throughout the day. If you're oily skin, this foundation is gonna be incredible for you as well. It's matte, so you're not gonna get oily through this foundation. It's long wearing. It's not gonna rub off throughout the day and look crazy and melt on you. You also have a beautiful smoothing primer. Morphe left no one behind. The whole kind of slogan behind this campaign is value your hue. And I feel like Morphe really does value every hue, every skin color. There wasn't always inclusivity in cosmetics, and it's a tough thing. Even for me with lighter skin, I know it's 100 times harder for some women of color or boys of color to find a foundation match. Morphe is really here to change the game. With that said, Fluidity launches on January 17th. I really, truly, with all my heart, believe in this product. I can't wait to foundation match every single person in Dallas, Texas. Come see me at the North Park store. I got you, girl. If you want to learn how to do it, girl, I'm gonna sit you down and show you. Comment down below and let me know what you're most excited about, what shade level you are. I want to know. Let me know what product you're most excited for. I just want to say thank you to Morphe, as always, for being so incredible, so inclusive, so good to their people. I want to say a big thank you to them for all the opportunities that they give us to work with these products and see them kind of behind the scenes before they launch. It's really important to me. We are very, very educated on the products, and that means the world to me. So shout out to the Morphe education team. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below, obviously. Let me know what you think. And like this video if you liked it, if you're excited about Fluidity. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.